we are on the program Vision for a New Africa, the futuristic postcard program leadership that is required in the continent. I really want to thank my global leader, Comrade Benedicto Umbago, for every single sacrifice he has made for this program to get up to this far. And I also want to thank my team for giving me all the necessary support to ensure that this program gets thus far. And today, I specifically want to thank Dr. Nelson Anoya from the USA, whom I had a very wonderful discussion with as far as the economic liberation of the continent is concerned. When I called Dr. Nelson Anoya and we have that wonderful discussion, I told him about the vision and the idea of the whole reason why this program is being set up and the whole reason why the UPAM integration program is being set up. And to my very great amazement, I was so impressed by the quality positive interaction I had with Dr. Nelson Anoya. Number one, when we were having that interaction, Dr. Anoya asked me some very critical questions. Number one, he told me, he said, an empty stomach is an angry, empty brain. So invariably what he was trying to say is that we cannot talk about the liberation of the continent, both mental and economic liberation, without looking for a way to nourish our people. Because you don't preach, you don't talk, and you don't transform dead people. That was one of the questions he asked me. Secondly, he also told me, he said when politicians come together, irrespective of their religion, their region, tribe, and the rest, in unity, what do I think is the simple interest that will bring them together? And when I look at him, I told him, yes, it's their own selfish interest. He said no, that one of the unifying factors that brings them together is money. Because yes, money might not be everything, but money is an essential part of power. It is an essential tool that can use for any kind of transformation that you want. So now when we talk about, invariably what he was trying to imply was that when we talk about economy, the economic liberation of Africa, there is no way we are going to get this economic liberation truly without us putting head together, without us uniting both at home in the diaspora to mobilize the needed financial resources for us to drive this idea and translate it into reality. That was one of the second questions he asked me. Now, thirdly, he told me that, Mr. Todo, that our ancestors did a very great job. But if he may ask, was there any blueprint that was given to us by them to work with when it comes to our economic liberation? Because when we look at the Chinese, the Israeli, the American, and others, they have a blueprint that their children and unborn children do work with. And I pondered for a very long time on that question, and I gave him my sincere answer. I said, no, there is no blueprint that is being handed over to us to work with. And he told me that, Comrade Todo, will it not be of a more greater crime and tragedy for we to leave this earth without having one blueprint or the other to give to hand over to our own children and unborn children to work with? And I ponder on that question, which is indeed very transformational. Now, thirdly, he told me that there is a very distinct difference between economic freedom and economic liberation. And in his own simple term, he told me that when we talk about economic freedom, let's look at it this way. It is just like an individual that is being set free, but is given a confined space, fence, to do his or her activities around. But when it comes to economic freedom, it is just like one who is being set free without any fence. You can move to wherever you can move to based on the capacity of your thinking. And he told me that economic freedom is really the goal. Now, fourthly, He told me, he said, yes, for a truth, our ancestors and all our founding fathers, as far as Pan-Africanism is concerned, have fought a very good fight when it comes to political power and political liberation. But he believes it is the responsibility of our generation to fight and struggle and actualize that of economic power. So these are some of the wonderful discussion I have with him, and he agreed with me with a very reasonable reasons and fact that truly one of the best way for us to attain this economic freedom we have been talking about must be us coming together, unite both at home and in the diaspora. We further went together and we discussed, we look at it this way: we can deny reality, but we cannot escape the consequences of each fact. When we look at our systems, how our system is being run today, is it the executive system? Is it the political system? Is it the judiciary system? We need to ask ourselves a very critical question. Do this system really have the potential of giving our children and unborn children the kind of future they desire? You and I know the answer to those questions. But it is high time we stop lamenting. He said, no, lamentation will not solve anything, but rather we need to be very, very strategic by accessing superior knowledge, innovative strategy that can give us the solutions to the answer we want. These are some of the technical questions we ask each other in the course of us interacting. And we look at it this way: it is for a fact that truly the political class and the political system have truly weaponized ignorance and poverty in our systems. And we have seen how the conscience of people can be easily bought to go against their will to elect leaders that they really don't want to elect because of what? The poverty and the ignorance that is purging us. But we also discussed that a bad system will always beat a good man, no matter how you look at it. So the best way for a good man to fight a bad system is not by attacking the bad system directly, but rather is by creating a new system that will make the bad system absolute. So now we look at it this way: imagine, for example, we are able to harmonize and mobilize more than enough resources and set up systems and institutions independently as CSOs and NGOs, Pan-African CSOs and Pan-African NGOs independently, and these systems are able to give millions and millions of our African youth jobs. These systems are able to give millions and millions of our African youth the necessary skills that is able to make them very competitive globally as far as 21st century is concerned. When we're able to create this system, aren't we also going to be able to impact them and influence them when it comes to them making political choices and choosing their leaders? Indeed, if we can create an independent economic system that is working, then technically we can also influence the political system and political choice making of our people, our children and our unborn children to come. These are some of the wonderful discussions we have with him, and I believe that when everything flows from the belly of the ocean, it will make sense more. So in one of our next episodes, we are going to be having him live on the podcast program here, where we are going to also discuss intensively of what it will take and how we are going to go in terms of the actualization of our economic liberation through the UPAM integration program and other programs. So these are some of the wonderful discussions we have with the dog, and I sincerely appreciate him for that. Thank you.